or a bishopry, I'm not entirely sure, in the Gulf of Venice, and they were annexed by the Venetians in 1422 or 1420, which is approximately 22 years before the start of our game. Now, obviously, cores last longer than 22 years, therefore the logic is sound. You know, why wouldn't they be in the game? And that's exactly why they have popped up for you right now. And just for shits and giggles, let's take a look at them. They're feudal monarchy. They've got no legal heir, which may or may not be a problem. They got a couple of ideas. Quite a lot of them, actually. And let's take a look. Technology-wise, 10, 8, 8. So, you know, it's looking good. Oh, I have email. Oh, it looks like the Way of Life is out. Assam is the better-looking red blob because it has tea. I would so far as to say that it's not so much red, but it is more a deep burgundy. It is, I think it's actually exactly the same color as burgundy has, which, not the greatest idea, obviously. Let's go and take a look at the Turmerids here. They are being played by one of our players, aren't they? Yes, they are. Emrop. Assam, you know, they've got tea, but don't tell the English because they will murder everything between here and Lithuania in order to get to said tea. Let's take a look here at Muscovy, our laser. Muscovy is not doing well. Kazan is trying to get in there. He's got provincial unrests. He's got loans coming due. How many loans does he have? Oh, that is the wrong button. Only one. All right, fair enough. His ideas, humanist, economic, and diplomatic. That is very interesting for Muscovy. If you go over to the Uzbeks in this particular... If I can go over to the Uzbeks. Again, this is beta, guys. There may be some issues sometimes. Religious. So the Uzbeks are not actually trying to expand into this area, which means that Muscovy is going to have an easier time colonizing this area. Of course, the issue is Kazan. Now, Kazan is obviously Eastern Tech. He is a 5.76, which shouldn't be 10. Yeah, there is no reason why Muscovy can lose this. He's got 32,000 manpower. However, there is this blob called Novgorod to the north, which may or may not cause some issues. Let's go over towards Sweden, shall we? Where Sweden is currently fighting a Protestant war. Because clearly the Swedes are Protestants. No, they are Reformed. Well, isn't that a shame? I'm actually really curious about Muscovy. They don't have any subjects, which means that Novgorod is not their subject. What is going on in Novgorod? They are 0 patriarchal arc. That's actually pretty decent for them. It means that, you know, technology 7, 8. Yeah, they're similar tech as Muscovy. Idea-wise, administrative and plutocratic. That makes sense. Means you get yeah, that's actually quite good. But yeah, Novgorod is not really in a position where you think, hey, yeah, Novgorod definitely is supposed to look like that at this point in time. Let's take a look at Brabant. Again, this country is beyond weird. Brabant is currently fighting Ansbach, Baden, and Trier as the Emperor has sought it once again in his wisdom to force other countries to release imperial territory. And let's take a look here at the Holy Roman Empire. There's currently no religious wars going on. That's good. Catholic religion is a dominant faith. But, yeah, he's got enough electors, so that should be an issue. Let's take a look at the religion tab here. Yeah, Protestant has not really gotten in anywhere. And you'd expect Brabant to become, you know, Protestant at some point. Obviously, considering they are buddy-buddy with Austria, which makes perfect sense. Sorry, I'm just drinking my last vestments of tea. I literally found the biggest mug in the office. I think this is at least 700 milliliters. worth of tea. I'm not going to lie, that is a fuck ton of tea. Does anybody know a good guide to learn this game? Yeah, go and check out either Quill 18 or Arumba 07. Their guides are pretty much the community standard when it comes to learning the game, and there's a lot of details to dug into. And considering we're currently tweaking the game, it means that learning never ends. It's like school all over again, except without all the homework, unless you consider the playtime that you spend at home as homework, which is not particularly the greatest thing in the world. But you know, what are you going to do? Can we get a look at the mug? I'll give you a look at the mug. This is what the mug looks like. Oh my god, it's literally the size of my head. That's how big it is. Sportsomething.com. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I'm sure it's not filled with poison. I rinsed it twice, okay? It must be enough. All right, Fido, Emperor of Austria, feudal monarch, Alexander from Habsburg with your 3-2-3s everywhere, focusing on all the wrong things. In this case, administrative power, you know, because that's cool. Why does he focus on administrative power? He's a 10-10-10, which is perfectly fine. Very, very nicely spread out, to be honest, but they're doing quite well. Learning the game, go for DDR Jake. Well, DDR Jake is really, really, really good at breaking the game. Also, he looks like a beast because last time I saw him, he was wearing nothing but the American flag pasted all over his clothing with a giant eagle on the front, which was awesome. However, when it comes to when it comes to teaching the game, it's something that, you know, he could work on a little bit. He understands the game like nobody else. But when it comes to actually telling you on how the game works and explaining how the systems tie into each other, I would personally go for Quill and Roomba. But GD or Jake, if you're listening right now, no offense, bro. You're awesome. You know, I love you as, you know, as two brothers would in a not non-sexual, you know, whatever. Anyway, he does awesome stuff, but when we really want to learn the game, I would go for those other guys. I never understood why Austria is always attacking Hungary. There are events to get it without war or not. I'm not 100% sure. Hungary, at the start of the game, does not start off with a monarch. They start off with a regency council because the king dies at the end of the last crusade, where they get murdered by the Ottomans. And basically, one of the things there is that you could potentially install your own ruler in Hungary, and then through personal union, get added to Austria, and then obviously Austria-Hungary. But Austria-Hungary is more of a Victoria time frame mechanic. But it is this game box you are talking about. There is no game box. We have got a couple of retail copies, like brick-and-mortar copies, in-house, but I don't think we actually sell them anywhere. Maybe in Germany, because, you know, there are some weird places in Germany. Not weird places, you know. Every country has weird places. But there are places in the world where people prefer to buy copies in physical form, so. Europa Universalis 4. It's like school if you lived in an alternate universe. Are you guys thinking of being able to form Austria-Hungary as a nation? That would no, not really. Let me take a Austria-Hungary. When was that first formed? Yeah, Austria-Hungary is, you know, that wasn't formed till 1867, when during the Austro-Hungarian Compromise of 1867. It's a bit of a, you know, obviously the canals are in the game, but from a country point of view, there's really no much sense to have them in the game, and generally Hungary and Austria don't really make it to the end of the game. The idea of a canal is really old, whereas the idea of Austria-Hungary, not so much. It's more of, you know, two Habsburgs coming together, and then, you know... All right, let's take a... Just for shits and giggles, Google Habsburg chin, and you know what I mean. Also, the idea of Germany is also really old because Germany is, you know, it's a cultural union rather than a national union. And then obviously the Prussians came in, the Northern German Confederacy, and then the First Reich, and all that jazz. And now we have Germany. You know, one thing came to another, and now we have Germany sitting down here in the center of Europe next to the magnificent nation of Brabant, because that is now a thing. I have no idea how these guys managed to form, but clearly they did. This is kind of weird. I have EU2 somewhere. That's good on you, person on the internet. Any suggestions to play a single province start? First of all, the technical term is OPM, one province minor. And yes, I do play as Friesland. Friesland is awesome at 1444. You start as a merchant republic. You have the ability to form the Netherlands as a Dutch republic at some point. You have the North Sea there. You can colonize. You can go and do trading. You go and go to war with everybody around you. You can play the HRE mechanics. Serious, good fun. Other OPMs that are cool to play. Teodoro, for the more advanced player, Teodoro is awesome fun. Also, Crimea are currently vassal to the Golden Horde. The Golden Horde, which has 3 provinces, has a vassal. Wait, what? Oh, no, it's the other way around. Sorry. Golden Horde are a vassal of Crimea. Sorry. Sorry, international politics. Oh, yeah. You start as an administrative republic. It's still a republic, and republics are awesome. It is a good day to die. Well, hello there, DDR Jakes. Republics are awesome until you get a single event. Well, feel free to enlighten us there, DDR Jake. Mr. Amnest will rule the universe. The trial ceremony disrupted. We need a king. Ah, yes, when they decided that the Republic has had enough and it's time to install a monarchy. You know what you should do? You should keep your Republic tradition high. That's probably a good idea there, DDR Jake. Look at this, religious turmoil and a peasants' war potentially popping up here in Austria. Well, that is not very good. And Great Britain is here as well. Rule Britannia. Britannia rule the waves. Britannia's doing well. Exploration ideas. They got a couple of. They got the. Oh yeah, they got Holland obviously as a vassal. They got the English South Americas and Caribas. That is actually really curious. Basically, what they managed to do was they took a colonial nation, got them. Portugal. What? Oh, okay. I was about to say. So Portugal now consists of only one territory. Anyway, this nation down here, which is slowly but steadily being turned into a reformed nation, by the way, is a vassal. It's not a colonial nation. It is a vassal under England. Why this is not a colonial nation is slightly beyond me. It does seems to be a little bit exploity because it means you can vassal feed the colony into, well, at least the vassal into something slightly bigger than it should be. Not 100% sure if that is according to plan. Hello, Songhai. Your fog of war is completely screwed. There we go. Let's go and head over to what's Songhai now. Songhai, westernized. It is a powerhouse, so to speak. And they have not managed to actually colonize across because, you know, they do have Western 7, yeah, they need diplomatic tech 7 to properly be able to colonize. However, they are now Western tech, which means they will advance. Blah! Holy shit. 11-4-8. With a booster on towards national focus on towards administrative power. They're going full on the administrative boat.